Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcast on the Rocks. Tonight's episode is going to be an exciting one, talking about Alien Resurrection. Stay tuned for that. Before that, we're going to have our drinks and what else we've been watching. So we're going to have a fun time with all that stuff. I am late tonight. I apologize for that. Should have been started a little earlier, but I don't normally go to the gym on Wednesday nights. But it's like, the only time this week it's worked. So Ashley and I each are going to get our one night a week. So that's what I'm doing here. But anyways, yeah, that's what's up. Andrea is here with me as always. Thank you for being here. Good to see you again.
You too. You too. I'm also coming in hot due to exercise related activities. I was saying earlier we were playing a very evenly matched team in our volleyball match tonight. So long volleys, exciting, point by point match. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
Busy.
I mean, we don't normally talk a ton of sports on the show, but there is
sports ball
going on. Have you been watching the World Cup at all? Any of that stuff?
I have. I've been watching some of, the USA team's matches. And then, kind of exciting highlights from other matches, some of the blowouts that have happened, but also, the infamous draw that also happened in, what was the team, Cape Verde, that brought Spain to like an even 0-0 draw. So that was exciting. That was very interesting. So yeah, so I've been dipping in and out just because, it's kind of fun. And because I forgot how long the World Cup goes, how long, it takes to get to the finale of it all. I will be in Ireland when matches are still going on. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe there'll be something exciting there, maybe a European team. I doubt, I agree with many experts. I doubt Ireland's going to make it that far. Sorry, guys. But, there could be some other island teams to root for. So it could be really fun while I'm there.
Okay. Yeah. Don't get, trampled or anything. I don't know how crazy it gets there. I understand that much of the rest of the world gets very passionate about their.
They do. Yeah. I doubt I'd be anywhere near an area that, there'd be that kind of fan behavior to that level. But could be finding a cool pub to watch a game or two and build some camaraderie with some folks there. So we'll see.
Very nice. Yeah, I have not been able to watch any. I was telling Ashley I'd throw some on if we have it. We just don't have whatever it streams on and stuff. I think Peacock plays a bunch of it. We don't have that right now. It's just not an option for us. But we did get together and watch the UFC at the White House stuff. That was it was a little bit of a weather delay there, but it was a fantastic card. Like I think every match went no decision. Every one was finished. And I was wondering if they kind of picked people that were more apt to staying on their feet than going to the grounds to try to keep it exciting for general audiences. But yeah, really some really good matches there. So that was fun. A little
excellent.
Different being on a Sunday, for people getting up early next day working because it went pretty late. But
yeah, aren't they usually Friday or Saturdays?
Yeah, UFC stuff is typically Saturday.
Yeah, okay. I thought that.
But it was like it was what they call it, UFC Freedom 250. So it was on Flag Day. So to line it up with that and all that during this Sunday. So, yep, that's the sports ball. Well, it's not sport. There's no ball in that, but it's a sport.
No.
Before we get into the rest of what we've been talking about, just a little housekeeping up top. Just make sure you like, share, subscribe. We're live on YouTube, X, Rumble, Twitch, so any of those places. And then, if you like podcasts, we're on podcast directories too. So go ahead and find us there. be appreciated, all the likes and comments and stuff like that. Other than sports bally things, what else you been? Oh wait, we gotta talk about drinks, Andrea. I'm all over the place, all over the place tonight, going nuts. We'll settle down, settle
I was
in.
gonna say, what happens when you come in hot? I'm like high energy, but a little scattered. It's all good.
Yeah.
We can do
Mm-hmm.
things out of order. We can mix it up. We can be different and unique, and
No, because I want to have a sip of my drink here. We gotta get through these
There we
drinks.
go. There we go. There's the real reason behind it. Yeah. So I am gonna rewind a teeny bit just because I feel like we would be skipping some days that would be some of my favorite days on the drink calendar. But I'm only rewinding us 4 days to when we were, kind of thinking that we would initially do this podcast. So on June 13th, it's a double holiday. Can't miss it. It's World Gin Day. Like I said on the pod last week, some of my favorite cocktails are made with gin, so can't really skip that one. It's also National Rosé Day, heading into the summertime. A lot of people's favorite sayings is rosé all day, especially in the summer, having a cool wine. So, gotta give a shout out right there. June 14th, Flag Day also. Was Bourbon Day, and that's a cocktail, a drink an alcohol that I've been making in cocktail drinks recently, because we had made some mint juleps for a derby themed wedding shower that we attended. So we had some leftover bourbon, and so been kind of finding unique ways to mix that up. So shout out to that. And now finally, days that are ahead. The 19th, in just 2 short days, it is Martini Day. So if you are, I know we've been talking about Bond a lot as well. We did a Bond card unboxing. You've been talking about the new game that you've been playing. Yes. Oh, I don't have my cards right here to show. Dang it. They're like just out of reach. But yeah, so if you're a Bond fan, maybe pour one out on June 19th for Martini Day. And then finally, to cap it off, looking ahead, June has a double 21st drink holiday. It is Day Drinking Day, and it is Lambrusco Day. So,
okay,
you can go general or very, very specific.
Yeah. No kidding. Covered 2 in 1. Yep. Well, I should say here, Alan, technical director here, he's having 1792 bourbon with tuaca, and little brown sugar and maraschino cherry over ice. So that sounds nice.
Yeah, I mean you're very close to getting like a Manhattan style going on there.
So that sounds 1792 bourbon. I don't know if I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But very nice. I am, let's see, he's saying something here. Maybe some extra details on his drink choice.
What have you got going on for your drink of choice?
Yeah, I've got I went the martini route. So like you're saying, talking Bond and stuff. So
I felt like you would. But you sometimes like to throw me a curveball.
I haven't had a martini in a while. It's coming up, so I figure by the time this goes to podcast directories might be perfect in time for that. So I made a Aperol, I just don't know how to say that, Aperol gin martini. So I got the gin in there as well. So it's gin, Aperol, and then
Aperol,
yeah. I cheated a little bit. It's supposed to be lemon and orange juice. I kind of have this little juice cocktail sort of thing. Did that in orange bitters. So that's what I.
Ooh, you fancy.
Yeah.
It
doesn't look as good in these glasses because it's kind of there's a tint to these glasses, but
I was wondering. I was like, I feel like that's not the right color.
Yep. But I love these glasses. I love the shape of them and stuff. They're just a little tinted.
For sure.
What do you get? What do you got? What are you drinking, Andrea?
So, because we're talking alien tonight and you made your fancy,
Mm,
fancy alien cocktail, I also made an alien inspired cocktail. This
okay.
recipe is from Table Magazine and it's the alien Romulus. And in quote or in
Okay.
parentheses, it says, "In space, no one can hear you." So the OG calls for vodka, Cointreau, uh, pomegranate juice, lemon juice, Chambord. And I did all of that, but just switched out the vodka for gin because I'm a
Okay.
gin girl. So I am
Sure.
celebrating World Gin Day. And then I bought these like mystery packets of edible glitter and poured that in my little bad boy right here.
Oh,
So, yes.
nice.
So
That's
it's a
almost
little
like,
glittery.
yeah, it's almost like human and synthetic blood mixed together.
It is. It is. Yeah, it's like a milky opalescent glitter that's
Yeah,
happening. So,
that
and I got a
presents
little
much
orange
nicer
slice
than
for
mine.
garnish. But
Very nice.
we both got
Cool.
like the same level of fancy going on, so I like it.
Yeah,
We
that's
matched each
yeah.
other. Cheers.
Salud.
Yeah, gin is the way to go.
And Alan, this bourbon here, looked it up in 1792. This bottle looks very familiar. But yeah, it looks
Hmm,
nice. Fancy.
cool. Whiskey of the
Okay,
year. That's cool.
libation in hand. Holidays gone
Indeed.
through.
Indeed.
What have you been
Check, check,
watching in these
check.
last couple weeks? Because yeah, other than sports ball, it's been a while. So I've gotten quite a few things watched. How about you?
You have. I have been catching up with some fun things with Chris, but not like, I feel like it's not new stuff, but catching up on our old favorites.
Mm,
We returned to Ghost season 5 and have been watching through that. It's still going strong. I love that show. Highly recommend it to anybody who needs a laugh, but also, a good emotional moment. They just did like a Christmas Carol spoof on the show because we're behind, obviously. So, watching the Christmas episode now in June, but it was really great. And the English major nerd in me really loved it. So that was a lot of fun.
okay.
Also, watching the brand new season of one of Chris's favorite shows, which is Castle Impossible, which is this couple in France who've inherited like this grand old estate that they call the chateau, and they're restoring it like room by room by room. And they also run a wedding business, and they're also kind of dealing with family things. And yeah, it's a good time, and also like one of those shows where you just, as a homeowner, are like, oh, look at the stunning architecture, look at the projects we could do in our own home, and you get foolishly inspired. But it's it's a lot of good fun. And the
Mm,
main couple who do the renovations are a lot of fun to watch, and they have some really cool family history. So
okay.
good show as well. It's like a Great British Baking Show, but with like architecture and
Right.
interior design. So it's a good
Yep.
feel good. A show that I watched that is not feel good. I finally watched the new Wuthering Heights.
Ooh.
Um, Very mixed feelings about this adaptation. Like very strong mixed feelings. Very strong positives and very negative negatives.
Okay.
Not a lot of like middle ground for me. So that was an
Well, what are
interesting
the
watch. I did struggle to get through it. I won't lie to you.
um what were the major, give me three major highlights and three major negatives.
Sure. Highlights I would say would be like scenery, set building, um, camera work, like cinematography, like those kinds of things. I'm going to lump them kind of in a group. Um, Acting all around, I think I saw no weak performances. Everybody did
Right.
their performance well.
Hmm.
And I know that there was like some talk about Margot Robbie's age. It didn't really bother me. It wasn't really like a big, like, oh my God, she's so old.
She
Um,
looks
you
young.
know, she looks young, and it was believable enough. Hollywood makes, 30 somethings play teenagers all the time. So I don't know. I
Mm.
wasn't really super bothered by it. Um, and costume design, I thought, was gorgeous as well. There were some really cool choices in there. Big negatives were script alterations, like really heavy injection of like stylized moments that dragged on, or like unique scenes that were supposed to be, I think, making big bold statements that just felt really unnecessary and awkward and clunky. Um, I felt like this sort of like for shock value, sex
Mm.
and gore, and there were just things in there that didn't match the tone of what I know from the script, and it felt really forced. It just felt really like, this is my vision on the movie.
Hmm.
So yeah, I I didn't love this take. I think
Did
overall
you
I would not rank it higher than some of the other versions I have seen.
did you find it romantic?
Um, there were moments, but overall I would say no.
Okay. I don't know because I wonder if it's me, at my age, being a man, being married. I don't know. Um, I had a hard time feeling sympathy for some of the characters, and
Well, and I mean,
um,
you're not supposed to feel sympathy for all of them. Some of them are just really bad characters, and they make
yeah,
horrible choices.
right. And so I am no other context for Wuthering Heights. I went
Mm,
into it understanding that this was a very different retelling, but like I don't
mhm.
know what the original is. And I've heard a few pieces here and there, some changes and such, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, Ashley and I went. I think it was for Valentine's Day or thereabouts. I think that's when it came out. And we had a good time. We
Yeah.
we liked seeing it, but it doesn't. It's not. It to me does not ring as romantic. And I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I also don't understand Jacob Elordi. I don't understand the appeal. Like, not that he's not good at acting, because I think he did a good job in Frankenstein. He did a
Mhm.
good job in this. I just don't understand the like fanfare about him, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I have kind of like polar opposite views of his acting experiences, because sorry to anybody who likes this. I foolishly watched Netflix's The Kissing Booth, which he is in, and
Mm,
I hated it. And he was like a
mm,
terrible, like, I'm brooding and mysterious older bro. It was very like stereotypical, and I don't know. It just kind of like left a bad taste for me for his acting. Um,
sure.
not to say that that's necessarily his fault, but it's not a great introduction. But then like seeing him in things like Frankenstein, I really enjoyed his performance much more than I thought I would. Or this, I enjoyed elements of his performance because his Heathcliff is different. I enjoyed elements of his performance, and I thought that he committed well to the choices he was making about how to portray this character. So I
Hmm.
respected his acting, even if I didn't love the script choices. So yeah, so I have two very different experiences. I like him more now as an actor, but I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like a fangirl, or that I think, his attractiveness is beyond, some sort of normal level, because he's attractive, but not for me to like an obsessive level, or like a
Sure.
otherworldly level or whatever.
Yeah, he's just always a kind of a candidate. I mean, people banned him about for James Bond. Just
That doesn't feel like a role I see him in.
no, no.
I
But
don't know why.
anyways, Well,
it's not that he couldn't do it. It's just I don't know.
Alan says he's too tall for 007, and which is
Yes,
true.
he
I mean,
is.
they've,
That was actually the first thought that came to my mind.
some people did a skit. I'm not sure who I sent it to, but it was like if Lordy was Bond and he's trying to blend in or something, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at this bloke walking in here." It's like, "How tall are you?" And just like immediate attention, that he's so tall. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
well, I
it's
mean,
hard to, blend in as a super spy if you're towering above everybody. You know what I
mhm.
mean? You would never get lost in a crowd,
Yeah,
especially if you're trying to
yeah,
make a getaway. It'd be like, oh well, there's the tall guy.
yeah, yeah. But I really like the scenery. There's some beautiful shots.
Hmm.
Just that's what I really walked away enjoying from it.
Hmm.
But glad
Yeah,
you
the
got to
moors
see
were
it.
gorgeous.
Maybe we'll have to do a comparison, or like pick a different version that you like a lot or
Laurence
something, or
Olivier.
that you've been wanting to watch or something, and then we can watch that and then compare
Yeah,
contrast or something.
1939, Laurence Olivier.
Okay.
Solid.
Okay. Be a fun classic night. Very good.
Hmm.
And then a show I see you put on here that I completely forgot about. I was like all
Yeah.
about this. And then I was like, oh, wait. Yes, that's right. This exists.
Yes. Yeah. I just started it recently. I watched the first episode of Spider Noir on Amazon, and it's definitely a show I'm going to have to give another give another episode to form like a am I going to keep watching opinion. Um, things I things I enjoyed, but things I was a little skeptical about as well.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm not fully sure. I like the premise of it. I love Brendan Gleeson as like the main, you know, foil, the main villain,
Mm.
called Silvermane. I enjoy his acting a lot. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like where the story is going. Um, I don't want to like give too much away, but
Sure.
I feel like they could take like a really standard approach to Nick Cage's character in terms of like I used to be a superhero, but I retired from that game, but now I'm going to like get pulled back into it. And I don't know if him fully becoming his super alter ego is feeling feasible. Nick Cage is looking a little long in the tooth for like
Mm.
some, full stunt work. So I'm a little nervous about that. It's
Well,
not that his acting isn't doing well, and not that like
right.
you know what I mean? Like he's not like great as, this grizzled, current PI, former superhero, with a tragic backstory. It's not that all of that isn't good, solid material. I'm just a little worried about the standardization of the script and maybe, hoping for it to take a more unique turn to set it apart somehow.
Okay. All right. Well,
Also, I
I'm interested.
chose to watch it in black and white.
Okay. There, people have recommended like specific episodes. Watch this one in black and white and this one in color and
Oh,
whatever.
interesting.
So
Okay.
I think that would be based upon like if it's more flashbacks and stuff or whatever. But I feel like at least first run, just watching it all in black and white, that's what I want to pick too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I definitely feel after watching the first episode like I like it very much in black and white, and I think it would be very jarring to watch it in color, actually. I mean,
sure.
like you said, if there are specific episodes I could totally make the switch, but I think for the first setup, getting the black and white brings you to the feel of the show.
Yeah, I mean, just like every different medium, but every time you remove an element, you invite someone's imagination in a little more. That's why I like,
Mhm.
reading a book is your most imaginative, endeavor for creative consumption. And because I'll read manga in black and white and don't like seeing it in color then. Like some
Sure.
often they'll put a few panels in color so you can see what it's like in color. So that's fine sometimes. But then when they make it into an anime, sometimes it's like, this is not as good. Like it changes the tone, it changes the vibe of the
Mhm.
whole thing, or it's just
Yes.
not the way I envisioned it, And so, especially with the way a lot of things are colored these days, or feel CG or too
Yep.
bright or something, black
Yep.
and white, pencil looking already feels like darker and grittier and more meaningful or
Mhm.
whatever. And yeah, so yeah, Alan brings
Yeah.
up Mad Max 3 Real Black and Chrome editions exactly. Which is, having seen that in color though, is kind of crazy because color is so important to that. So like
Mhm.
removing that really change it. It's really different. So
Yeah, I
yes.
feel like black and white for Spider Noir does Nick Cage some favors. It just like
Mm,
lends, it smooths, it lends, kind of like a
sure.
sleeker air to him. It lends like the old world
All this
feel.
age shaming, Andrea.
I know, I feel really bad, but I just feel like I don't know.
No,
It
it's
just
fine. I was surprised too because when he's the voice of Spider Noir in the animated thing and is perfect. And then when they
mhm.
announce a live action thing, it's like, well, okay, but yeah, he's a little older, for superhero,
Right.
but I don't know.
And
He has
it's not.
powers. If he has
Yeah.
powers, then you know,
Yeah, and it's not that I think that he can't do things. It's just that like there are certain flashback sequences that I would be like, it would be really stretchy to imagine that we could return to this. Do you know what I mean?
sure,
It just
sure.
it feels a little unbelievable to have him like
What I'm
be
saying
pulled
is,
back
I'm shocked he
into.
can walk.
I
That's
know, is he upright? Most of his scenes are, sitting. No, no, no. I just, I'm a little worried about like, you know, the believability because I do like the dark grittiness and I do actually feel like there could be a complex story to tell if, all these people are trying to like be like, where did the spider go? What happened? Let's get him back. And it's like, actually, I can't quite do all the spider
mm,
things. Like maybe we need to find some workarounds and, stick to my PI
sure,
stuff a little bit more than you wanted. I think it could just be a more interesting story than being like, yep, here I'm the spider, just like I was.
sure. Yeah, well, I mean, I like those comeback stories. I like
Yeah.
back to Bond, Skyfall, I think is a perfect example
Hmm.
of someone that's like, okay, they've lost a step, the younger people are coming in or whatever, and then what they need to use to like come back into the game and how to
Yeah.
make that work. So
And
I always like
that's
that kind of story.
yeah, and I like it as well. So I like the trajectory of the show. I just want it to tell like a nuanced version of that.
Hmm. Yep.
So that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. Well, hopefully I can get on that soon. I totally forgot about that, so I jumped on the Widow's Bay bandwagon.
Hmm.
Um, it
Yeah, that's been getting some rave reviews.
it has been, it's kind of been getting passed all over. And there's so many things on Apple I should be watching, and I'm not.
I
So
know.
I've
I
finally,
know.
it's like this one. I'm gonna start this one. Ready for another horror thing. I've been doing a lot of horror movies and stuff. So, just watched the first episode, but first episode was really intriguing. I saw this thing. I don't know who it was involved that was said it, if it's the director or what, but he said that this started as a Parks and Rec episode. It's like the
Yeah.
idea for it. And I can see that after episode one, I can see how that would be. I could see how it would
Sure.
totally be one episode of the show that they address and deal, and then they think, well, maybe we actually make this a real thing and have it a whole big whatever. So, well acted. It's well shot so far. It's fun. It's got the right amount of like creepy with humor, so it's good. But
Nice.
only one episode in, one in. I tried starting Daredevil Born Again season 2 again, and I just couldn't. I started episode 2 and I don't know. There's a cheap quality to it, to like the how things are moving, the way people are acting. I just doesn't feel as genuine as I had in the past. And with so many things to watch, I just thought I'm just not going to right now. It's just so. Yeah, Alan shared Silo. Yes, Silo is absolutely a thing on my list. I'd love to watch. I love Rebecca Ferguson. She's great, so it'd be good.
Mhm.
Speaking of other horror things, though, other than Widow's Bay, I went to Backrooms and I managed to see Hokum because it's out now digitally.
Yes. How was Hokum?
A lot of fun. It's really good. Both these movies I kind of went into, especially Hokum, going in really not knowing anything about it, and it's just a good horror tale. It's a little different than other things. You're introduced to a main character you don't really like, but then you sort of understand why a little bit, why he is the way he is and what he's going through, and
Mhm.
it's like the right amount of like creepy things without, sometimes
Mm.
things they jump in too fast and they show too much and all that sort of thing, and this really
Mhm.
doesn't. So it looks good. Definitely thumbs up for that one.
Okay.
um and then Backrooms, I think, I
Backrooms.
mean, if it's comparing the two, I think maybe I like Backrooms more. It's a little more unsettling. It's a really
Okay.
unique idea. To my understanding,
Mm.
it's inspired by a video game, I think. Um, this is one of the two movies that have been made that's come out now that've done numbers, that's made by YouTubers. I'm not familiar with these YouTubers. Both Obsession and Backrooms were made by
Mhm.
YouTubers and been very successful. But Backrooms, it's a little bit of a period piece. It's back a few decades, and it's this guy that's,
Mhm.
he's got trouble. He's got trouble with his relationship things and money. He's trying to run his furniture store, and he discovers that there are basically endless passages in the bottom of
Hmm.
um, his furniture store, and it reminds me a lot of like
Creepy.
Portal. It's not a bunch of jump scares or anything. It's just eerie and unsettling, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. Um, there's been so many horror things this year, and I'm happy I'm getting to watch some of them. And Backrooms is definitely a good one. So
Okay.
um, I'd like to see Obsession yet, but I think I'm not going to get the chance to go to the theater for that, so I'll have to pick it up when it's available on
Mhm.
digital or whatever. Um, and that's mostly my horror stuff, other than Alien now here, and
Of
then
course.
a lot more Bond. Just been focusing on 007 First Light. I'm pretty far in it now. I must be, actually, you can look at it here. I am 15 hours in, 15, almost 15 and a half hours in. So the game is
Oh,
only like a 13 to 20-hour game. So
okay. So
um,
yeah.
yeah.
Are you doing or I should say preface this first, is there the possibility for side missions and other things? And if so, are you doing that?
So this is pretty much, uh, in terms of overarching, is a linear cinematic experience. It's part of what makes it
Okay.
hard to put down because it really keeps going. That's why, like I
Okay.
was saying, if you don't think you'll play it, you should definitely watch someone do a playthrough and watch it as a mini series, because someone will
Sure.
be good at it, and they'll do it without dying, and they'll just go through the whole thing, and you'll get the story, the latest Bond story that's going on, which
Sure.
is good. There's plenty of Bond movies that's this story is serviceable. It hits the beats it needs or whatever, but it can be a reason for action set piece, whatever, But this
Mhm.
is a good story, and there's some emotionality involved. There is, um, like the game took 7 years to make, but there's a surprising amount of like this story works perfectly for right now. We deal
Hmm.
with AI and quantum computing, and again the relevancy of the double O's and people and all that sort of thing. It's been very good. So I feel like I'm probably on the final mission. There is going to be later this year some added story DLC, so there'll be some more missions to play, and then you can always go back, play things in a different manner, because there's a lot of different ways to tackle each mission, each scenario.
Okay.
And then there is also like a challenge modes and stuff like that, so you can go in and I haven't done any of that yet, but yeah. So that's been
Very
consuming
cool.
most of my time, if not something horror related. Yeah. Um, and
I
then
like it.
th-
You're
for
in your
another
you're in
episode,
what feels like your summerween.
what's that? Yeah, right.
You're in your summerween.
Yep. I it'd be interesting to go through sometime all the gaming because that's the other thing that's happened in pop culture here that I've
Yeah.
been paying a lot of attention to is all the gaming stuff. Everybody basically had their presentation over what was kind of the now become a E3, but everybody just does their own
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah, I've had
a
that
lot
all
going
lined up
on.
to get watching. I skimmed over some highlights of things, but I haven't like dug deep into everybody's presentation. So that's on my list of things to do over the next few days as I am briefly child free.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I kind of rank, you know, Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest is probably the best one. Then we had the
Mm.
Xbox one, then the Nintendo one, and then the PlayStation one. That would sort of be my best to worst ranking
Okay.
in looking at
Valid.
those and what they had available. The whole Xbox story and drama right now is nuts. It's changing all the time. If
Hmm.
you're unaware, Asha Sharma took over. She's new CEO of Xbox, and really, she's been saying a lot of the right things to fans, doing a lot of the right, making a lot of the right moves, all that sort of thing. But she said there's going to be some tough decisions ahead, and it seems like that's probably going to be the case. They're going to likely start firing a bunch of people, closing some studios, all this sort of thing. But I don't know. I mean, they have a long hill to climb. And if someone is really dedicated and committed to making Xbox last and stick around and stuff, I feel like maybe she's the right person, is assembling the right team. So there's going to be some tough times, but I think that I'm hopeful that the tough calls are made and they work out for the best. So
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
kind of another story I've been following. But yeah,
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of I don't know, cutting room floor types of decisions in the gaming world right now. Or just looking at,
yeah,
the first light news that you'd posted and reading through that, fumble by Amazon about whether or not to continue. Just
who's
feels
this
like
boob?
I
Yeah, who's
yeah.
this guy that comes out talking about like, do you have anything to do with anything? You come out talking about this, because PR has to come in and clean up, you know.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
this yeah, I was gonna say this hits somebody's inbox in PR and they're just like,
yep. Well, I don't know. Right. So there's an article here from Dual Shockers. They talk about how someone from Amazon comes out and it's basically like, look, we don't know. We own. Basically, it comes off as, look, guys, we own the IP of James Bond now. This other game that's out right now, that was done under the previous people, and we are going to be the ones. We're in charge of the IP now, and we're be making the game, maybe making the games going forward from Amazon Game Studios. We have our own gaming stuff. Why would basically it, and people look, Amazon has been trying to do gaming stuff and they mostly been failing. So if
yep,
these guys, again, if they have such egos that they can't let a good thing that's working continue to work, we have real
right.
problems. We have real problems
Right.
for the future of the franchise and one of the world's biggest franchises here.
Right.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like this was gifted on a silver platter to be like, look how this can revive interest in the IP that you have now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
just such a boon to them, and this guy just like, just knocked that platter over. Was like, get it out of here,
Yeah. Yeah.
fool.
It's, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like people in high places are just adverse to making money. They just don't want to make money. It's like they have some,
Right.
that you have your like an agenda or an ego you need to stroke or whatever. It's the same thing as adaptations. You got people that you have a beloved thing. It's proven that customers love this thing because it sold umpteen thousands or millions of copies. And instead of taking that thing and converting it faithfully with love to another medium, it's like, hold on, I can make this better. I got to put my stamp on this. If we're going
Mhm.
to do this, what's the point if I don't make it different? You know,
Right.
well, the point is maybe someone didn't read the book and now they can experience this classic story in a different medium that they will
Mhm.
enjoy. That
Mhm.
maybe that's the point. And maybe also the point is for you to make money and to give customers the things they want. And so sometimes it's just that, again, the egos and the agendas and whatever, it's just they can't put it aside. They don't want to make the easy money. They gotta
Right.
make it for themselves.
Well, and I think there's nothing wrong in adaptations with small tweaks because, I think there are opportunities to improve certain stories, especially, if you've read like Common Complaints or you've, read the material and you're like, in discussions, yeah, everybody wishes this one thing would be fixed or like, this little tweak would happen. There's nothing wrong with, putting your stamp on something, but like it always feels now like it's got to be so different. The tweaks have to be so big so that like this is mine now. And it's just like my goodness, like it doesn't need to go that far,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. There's
There like you
there's
say there's nothing wrong with being like faithful to the story and then making like some sort of one or two unique choices that aren't like full character altering choices or full world, you know, changing choices. It can be small. Small things can be impactful.
Yeah, it's there's room for nuance with this. It's like it's not black
Exactly.
and white.
Right. Right.
There's you
It's not
can
like don't
tell when
change nothing or like change everything. There's a
right.
happy medium. But
You
yeah, I
can
just
tell
feel like
when
it's
something
so
is
far the other
done
way.
with love, if something is
Hmm.
like you say, if you're
Yeah.
looking over and there's like for years this has been a critique or whatever, that's that kind of thing. There's room to look, we care about this deeply, and you can just tell if they do or not, or if it's just a dismissal, and like
Right.
whatever, well, look, we're doing this, so get over it. um I also personally make uh I draw a line or whatever. I say, if you have something that's popular, relatively popular, and it's never been adapted before, you now have the chance to make the definitive adaptation. So like when I like to, so if there's someone's going to put a Batman villain in a Batman movie, and they've never been seen before in a Batman movie,
Hmm.
I would say try to make them as faithful as possible. Try to make them, they have to fit into the world of whatever you're doing, I guess, but maybe if they
Right.
don't fit in your world, don't put them in there. If you have to change them too much to make them fit. If they've
Right.
never been done before and never been done well, then don't don't do it. So like, or it's sorry, if they've never been done before or never been done well, then try to do it faithfully.
Hmm.
If it's like the Joker, and the Joker's been in movie after movie after movie after cartoon, animated over and over again, you start allowing for leeway, in my opinion.
Right.
You start like, okay, well, let's get different interpretations now of this tale or this character that's been told over and over repeatedly.
Right.
That's where I think that that makes more sense. Um,
Right.
but it's just my personal view on that. For me, I wouldn't want to take, and then there's the stuff that's like used to do this all the time. 80s, 90s would say inspired by this or whatever, based upon whatever, and it's loosely based upon, but it's a book or something that most people never heard of. They have an author, they sold the rights, make a movie of it. They don't care. They got a bunch of money to do it. They're lucky they got it. They're lucky they got it. They're excited about it, and they do whatever. And basically, it has the same name of a murderer in it and a location, and that's it. Okay, but we're not talking. We're talking about giant IP or things that are beloved or classics or whatever.
Right.
You have a different responsibility.
Yeah, it's different when it's common cultural experience versus, like you say, like more niche things that are brand new that not a lot of people have encountered before. It's a lot different. Your handling of it and your approach has to be different. So yeah, this is like the nuance that we think about, and I think true fans think about a lot, but sometimes seems to be missing in a broader media culture. But
yep. Okay. Well, you can tell it's been a while since we've had a regular podcast because
it's been a while since we've had a good rant, John. A good, back and forth like that.
I stay so positive, I just avoid the, negativity, whatever. And so then I but it's still out there, and there's still things that make me upset. So, well, let's see. Did Alien Resurrection make you upset? Or is it like, oh man, Alien ending on a bang, going out with a fireworks. What do you think?
Oh, Resurrection is such a divisive movie. I feel like about this movie kind of similarly that I do to Wuthering Heights, in the sense of like there are things that I really, really like and things that I really, really don't. But overall, I think it's a more fun return to like action movie type than Alien 3. So even though it can, I think, both Alien 3 and 4 are kind of difficult. They feel a little out of place after 1 and 2. They don't feel like to me anyway, they quite tie in with like the first 2 movies. But I can sense 4 trying to come back to some of that in a complete, and they take a risk because they do it in a completely different way. Yeah, I think it's not like great cinema, but it can be a fun time at times.
Okay. Yeah. I basically agree with that. Not great cinema, but can be fun at times. I think that's pretty good summary. There was just watching the classic original 4 Alien movies is such a roller coaster. It's Alien, it's this Giger, slow burn,
So good.
realistic space horror thing. And then Aliens is like the guy that brings you Terminator 2. It's like a nonstop action, shoot up the aliens on a planet with a crazy crew of muscleheads. 3 is like grunge. It's like grunge era. It's got
Art house.
yeah. I still want to watch the other version. That's what I need to watch. I need to watch the other version of this.
Oh yes, yeah. Same.
And then you go to this one, and I like your comment here about the crew kind of feeling like the Matrix crew a little bit. We're in that time period. This is 97. Matrix is 99. It's kind of works out there. But I don't know if they were going for serious, or like you say, trying to bring some of the fun in, because some of the characters and some of the acting felt not great. The commanding officer on this is like, I don't know, it feels very kind of silly B movie type of thing. Some of the, there's a guy. I wanted to see who he is. He looks
So so you look for that, and I'm going to interject briefly with so Joss Whedon penned the script for this, and he was going for campy. He was going for like a Firefly type of vibe, and then the director who came in um decided to play it straight. Decided to take his script and just play it very straight, and so it's definitely
mm,
like a mismatch between like what they were going for and what they did. And
okay,
sometimes it's fine. Sometimes you can like make it work in the movie. I think there's like enough overlap between the comedy of the script and like actually playing it straight can be kind of funny. Or, the actors just kind of like naturally find some like cheeky humor that works, even though it's supposed to be serious. But I think there is like a tonal mismatch for this particular, and that results in some really bad acting. Or there's some really bad acting that's not helped by a total mismatch between the way the script was written and the way the director wanted to, convey it.
right. So the guy that's so good in this, that to me steals the scene every time he's in it, is Michael Wincott. He plays Elgin. He's kind of the
Oh, yeah,
captain
yeah.
of the band of guys, that come on.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's funny because we were
briefly.
talking about Three Musketeers
RIP.
today, and
Yeah.
before it in Three Musketeers, I guess. And I'm just like, I don't know where I've really seen this guy, but I've definitely seen him in stuff. And I see he's in Westworld, is into a couple episodes. He's
Mm.
Nope. Well, I didn't see Nope, but Ghost in the Shell, I guess, the movie. I don't know. He's known for The Crow, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, so I know I've seen him in that, and Three Musketeers. So, but to me, he was really compelling. Like, I just
Yeah, he was fun.
want him to stick around more, and I
Oh,
believe
yeah,
his
I know his
lines,
face.
he fit in this world. Um, so I liked that character a lot. He just stood out to me in a sea of silly as a guy that really, you know,
Yeah.
bought it, and I
Yeah, he
bought.
was Guy of Gisborne in Prince of Thieves. Sorry.
Yeah,
Love
no,
that
yeah,
movie.
I need to watch it again. So I don't know.
Ugh, Alan Rickman, RIP, RIP forever.
Yes, yep. Um, Anyways, a big thought about that, and the rest of the cast, like I don't know, it's just like the basketball scene of Sigourney Weaver and Ron Perlman.
I
I don't.
know. I like Ron Perlman, but I could have like the way that that scene was played out. I was like, I feel like I already know the lines that are coming before they're said. It was just all like,
Right.
I'm gonna posture and you're gonna posture and we're gonna have this back and forth attitude.
Mhm,
And I was
mhm,
like, boy, can I just skip this? Because I already know the outcome.
mhm. But
And it's too bad
you know,
because like Sigourney Weaver and Ron Perlman are great actors. I
right.
normally would never say that about a scene that they're both in and interacting with each other. I would never be like, oh, I just want to like get to the end because I already know how this plays out. And they still found moments to be interesting, but yeah, like it's rough. The script is really,
Mhm.
or like I said, the conflict
Or that
between the script and the,
juxtaposition.
yeah, it's really rough sometimes.
I mean, positives again. That guy, I liked him, Michael Wincott, and then there's it was just fun seeing the famous faces. Worm Tongue. It's like what?
I
I'm
know.
not seeing
I
him in
know. Yeah.
anything else.
I know. He shows up and I was just like, "Boy, thanks for cluing me in just the bad guys." Like, I got it.
Hmm. Yep. I think the effects, the practical effects, are really good. I like the alien and chest burster. I like all that sort of thing. I think that's a lot of good things
Mhm.
there. The CGI effects, not so much. Swimming xenomorphs and stuff. That's not so good.
Oh, yeah.
But
I feel
we were
I felt like this particular movie really hit home how much the xenomorphs are effective if you only show a little bit of them.
yes,
You know what I mean? Like when you
yep,
get all close up on them and you see like pieces or you see like a, slinky tail or, you know, like I love an Alien when that one like folds out of like all of the cables and cords
yes,
and stuff where it's been, oh, creepy. But that's not like full body movement and like, running around or like you said, swimming. Swimming was, ugh. um, so yeah, I feel like the xenomorphs are just so much more effective when you use them less or you show them less. And
the
you save
only
full body moments when they're not moving. You know what I mean? Like when you
right,
see a lot of them like blowing up or like getting shot or like something happens to them, but you can see their whole body, but it's in stillness before they die. That's effective to me because their
yep,
bodies are cool, but their bodies in motion look really fake.
yeah. It to me, it's not. It's Alien. It's Prometheus and Alien Covenant that nail the full body
Yeah.
alien. Um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, they
then
do improve on that.
Romulus, Romulus too. So any of the creatures and stuff, and those to me, those newest of ones. But then they go that way. They go way too far in the TV show, and I love the TV show. I am
Mm.
excited for season 2,
Yeah.
despite some issues. But the broad daylight, full body guy in a suit xenomorph is just not. It's just not scary anymore.
I'm not
It's
really
not
excited
scary.
about that. I'm still gonna finish the TV series because I did wait until I was done watching the movies, and I'm gonna finish that up now. But I'm not
Oh
excited
my!
about
I
that.
totally forgot that you hadn't seen it. I 100% thought
I
we
mean,
talked about it on this show.
no, no.
Oh,
Because we
okay.
were
How
we were
far are
going
you?
to, and I'm halfway. I stopped halfway.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
man. Okay.
at first it was like a pause of like, okay, I just need some time to finish, and then it was like a deliberate pause as we were going through all the Alien movies. I was just like, well, what would be the point?
So we're not done. I mean, we're not done, Andrea, with Alien. We get to
No, we're
keep
not done with
going.
Alien, but we're done with the movies.
Yeah, right. I right. So, but when you start again, you let me know, and I might
Yeah.
just start like at least putting on the background extra time, like
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
rewatch
Kind of like
some for
refreshing your
things.
brain
And
a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, um, because it's a show worth talking about, I think. And yeah, okay, cool. Because I don't want to, I don't want to give up the alien stuff, Andrea. I don't want to give it up.
Well, and you didn't really. I mean, you just said like aliens in broad daylight. That doesn't really tell me anything.
Well, I know. I don't want. No, I don't want to. I don't want to stop. I wish we had more Alien to watch.
Oh,
You
gotcha,
know,
gotcha,
that's
gotcha,
all.
gotcha, gotcha.
At least there's an Alien video game coming. It's like the sequel to
That's true.
whatever Isolation or something. And then there are books and comics and stuff I've never delved into, but
Or I don't know how desperate you might be. We could always get into Alien versus Predator.
I just, I enjoy the
You
first one
love
for
my
what it
jokes, John.
is. Yeah. But I don't know. I have that much to say about it. So,
Oh
mm.
God, no, no, it's awful.
um, what else
Okay,
about
so
Alien Resurrection here?
yeah, Alien Resurrection. I felt like the rules were really fluid in this telling of Alien. Um, so like we obviously our big huge plot departure is like Ripley is not really Ripley. She
Right.
died. They did honor that. She sacrificed herself in Alien 3. And then, of course, the company is like, let's just cancel that out by cloning Ripley so we can, undo her noble sacrifice and get this queen that was growing inside her. Um, so this like Ripley that we had in the movie is Ripley 8, a clone. Um, and she's got like some alien qualities. She's sort of got some acidy blood that apparently she can touch, but like if it comes into contact with other stuff, it's acid like. not crazy like the
Right.
xenomorphs. But then I was thinking, like in the face hugger scene where it latches onto Ripley, I was like, can she be a host? If she's a clone, plus she already had like an alien that they got out of her, can she rehost like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like does it really want her? Isn't she sort of already one of them? I don't know. It was just sort of interesting to think about that.
Hmm.
And then oh, so the first mate of the crew who eventually gets hit by the alien acid to the face.
Mm.
It seemed like he, was writhing around and in agony because of the acid to the face, and then suddenly it sort of seemed to stop and like not eat through him. I expected more of like a full eat through, as we watched like in
Mm.
prior alien movies, this eats through like ship hulls and metal and grates
Right.
and walkways, and it goes down, 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 and somehow it
Yep.
couldn't make it through a human face. So,
Sure.
that here was like, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here, everybody. So,
That's a tough thing. I mean, it makes it interesting, but that's sort of the tough thing with having different people writing. Like Ridley Scott always saying how he wishes he would have locked down. He had the opportunity to lock down Alien, and he didn't. And
yeah,
so everybody sort of contributes to the lore with each
right.
film. And there's no, like, as far as I'm aware, approval process from anyone. It's like do what you want, kind of use what came
Right.
before and play along with it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I we intended to talk about this a couple weeks ago, so like some of my notes are not ringing a bell as to what it's particularly calling out, but it's just a lot of little things going through the movie. It's like, did it have to be this way? That seems like an odd choice.
Sure.
Like I wrote once, did I miss how they got the face hugger off? That always seems
Yeah.
like a
No, you didn't miss
very,
that.
yeah, it's like,
It just
that seems like a
happens.
very difficult situation typically. Like, how does that
Right.
work? Um, I wrote, like, could you choose a more painless death? There was some,
Oh,
uh,
yeah, that was, I think you're referring to the burning of all the extra clones of Ripley, the like
yes, yes.
they just like
It's like, you had to
torch
do
her
it that way?
alive. I was like, did
Yeah.
nobody want to shoot her
No,
first?
right?
Yeah. I mean,
So,
I will say in that scene, I simultaneously was like, please don't burn her alive, even though I want you to kill her. And I think it's going to be very cathartic for all of you and, end her suffering. And yet also, I was like, wow, props to the effects and makeups teams because that was truly horrific in there.
yes.
They
Yep.
built some cool props to like store in, like the liquid storage and whatever. And then like that clone gone horribly wrong was just messed up. It was the stuff of
Yep.
nightmares. Well done.
Mhm. Um, I was like, they checked for weapons very poorly. It's like the guy in the wheelchair, he's just like fully loaded. This is, everybody's
I know,
got
I
stuff up
love
their
it.
sleeves or something. It's just like,
I
wow,
knew he
okay.
had stuff in the canteen. I was like, this is so
Mhm,
obvious. Oh god.
mhm.
That was
Um,
really funny. Also, I loved the gun trail that the captain follows. I was like, okay, I guess this is like following a candy trail for kids because he was just like, ooh, a weapon. Ooh, a weapon. Ooh, a weapon.
uh, um, and then the betrayal scene was interesting to me. So on one hand, we get to reveal that Winona Ryder is a synthetic.
Yep.
So that's cool and stuff. And then, she is shot and stuff. But it just seemed like an odd moment. Like, really, you're going to choose to do this? How did you think you could possibly would get away? Now he does get away for a bit here. I don't know how, but um, it just seemed like an odd choice from his stance there. Like,
Yeah.
you're standing in the open, whatever, But did you see Winona Ryder as a synthetic? Did you see that coming?
I remember, so as I watched it this time, I remembered in the first time I watched it, I did not see it coming. Um, but then this time I was like, "Oh, right, like, I do see this coming." You know what I mean? Like, and it made more sense, like, thinking, watching it now as more of an adult and, thinking about acting choices and, like, kind of, the experience we've had thinking more critically about movies and things like that. I was like, "Yeah, these choices feel like she's a synthetic." Um, but
Okay.
yeah, when I first watched the movie way back, as a teen, I was definitely like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah. Yep. I wish I knew what I was talking about here. Well, that's actually disturbing as fuck.
Again, is it the clones? Oh, I bet it's the newborn.
Um,
And is it the death of the newborn as it slowly gets sucked into space through a tiny little hole?
yes,
Ah!
that's what it is. That's what it is. That was
Yeah. So I was watching this on Amazon, and it gives you like the little trivia sometimes for scenes, and it was like, this was actually like a death that they wanted to do in a previous Alien film and just
mm,
couldn't figure out the effects to do it. And this director was like, I got it.
that's that's what it is. I had to go back and watch that. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
actually
Mhm.
speaking of the newborn, I wore this shirt because it kind of like reminded me. It's like the
Ah,
same
nice.
color and it's got like all the teeth and like kind of like the,
Cool. Yeah.
jutting out. Even
Very
though
nice.
Kaiju is definitely better. Um, but yeah, the newborn is a very creepy part of this movie that we should talk about at some point.
Yeah. Well, and then I want to. I just have I have this comment here. I just, unless I'm missing some science, can we stop having people survive when there's a giant
Yes.
hole in a spaceship, or in the vacuum of space
Yep.
and a door is open, or what? Like one of my
Yep.
favorite movies, Sunshine. I love that movie,
Okay.
but they have to
I
go
don't know if I know it.
between two sections. Really? Oh my gosh, it's like almost always in one of my top five movies. It's just so good. But great cast too. It's Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle did it. And
Mm-hmm.
anyway, there's a scene where they have to, like, I won't ruin it for you, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, but there's a exposed to space scene. I'm like, just
Hmm.
no, I do not
Ooh,
think
good
that could
cast.
happen. It's a great cast, stellar
Yeah.
cast, best role I've
Yeah.
ever
Wow.
seen Chris uh, Evans in.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I'd be interested to watch that. Yeah, swinging back to the effect. Yeah, this one is particularly egregious. I feel like because there's the whole both Sigourney Weaver and Winona Ryder are there, and then we like enter Earth's atmosphere, and it's just sort of like it's just air. I'm like, no, you're still like how many thousands of feet above breathable airspace? Like this isn't just
Mhm,
like the normal close to ground air that we breathe, people.
mhm.
There's a reason that planes which fly within the Earth's, orbit, or you know what I'm saying, like our um
Atmosphere.
atmosphere. Thank you. Could not think of the word. There's a reason, like if you kick out a window or a door, like it has the same effect. It has that same like pulling effect. It's just not air up there the same way.
Yeah. Now I do believe that the whole thing that they do in movies all the time, like in a Bond movie or something, where if a window busts out of a plane, that everybody gets sucked out. Like, like you
Yes.
can have some damage, something, like a larger chunk pulls up, and there's a lot of turbulence and all this sort of thing. But it's
Right.
not this, like, because the plane is constantly pulling in air and stuff like that from the outside, so it's not like you're pressurized in that way where it's like you pinhole and then like floosh,
Yeah.
I believe. I think they address this on Mythbusters even,
They
because they
do. They
like to do that
do.
in
Gosh,
movies. But
you're like the third person this week who's like, we've been talking about something and they've been like, I think a Mythbusters episode
really,
talked about that.
it's been
Feel like it's
so long since
universe.
I've watched any of that.
I know. I was like, I feel like it's the universe being like, go rewatch some of that.
I would. Okay, well, you want to talk about the newborn. Let's talk about the newborn then.
I do. I do. It's such like a creepy. I forgave, some like weird stuff about the newborn because it's like a new alien. Um and it was really horrible and creepy and you know this like half human, half alien thing. Um I know they kind of had built it to address the fact that a lot of people had been like, well, the xenomorphs don't have eyes. So, they're like, okay, well, we'll give this thing eyes. And it makes it just horrible to give it these like, windows to the soul and these, vehicles for
Hmm.
facial expression. And it's just awful. It's, I think, one of the most actually successful parts of the movie, this creepy
Sure.
little thing.
Again, the practical effects were well done. So
Mm
it just
hmm.
would have
Mm hmm.
stuck to that. And we were in a time period where CGI was just like going to be more of a thing, and it got a little out of hand.
Mm
Um,
hmm.
because even like how great the effects look in the first Matrix movie, when you go to the second Matrix movie, they're just like, ah, just like do the effects, make it happen. And you go back and watch now, it's like, it looks really not good. Um, so things got a little out of hand. And if they would have instead stuck to like, look, this isn't good enough, like when you look at the original Jurassic Park, very little is actual CGI, most of it's practical. You go to the second one, it's the same deal. Like they
Mm
really, you know, constraint. Like if you just need a certain shot and you can keep it masked enough or in the dark enough or whatever,
hmm. Mm hmm.
guys, just let the constraint be there. Know that you can't, it takes you out of it. Takes an audience member out of
Mhm.
it. Less so during the time, you know, um, it, more so now. We're like, okay, yeah,
Right.
but yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Anything else? I feel like I enjoyed this movie in terms of watching Sigourney Weaver have fun being a different Ripley. Like a
Okay.
lot of the enjoyment I had came from being like, I know she's not Ripley, so that's, it's nice that she can just be separate in my brain. Um, but it's fun that Sigourney Weaver is just having kind of a good time. She in this
Okay.
movie, she doesn't have to be, as tortured about things. She doesn't have to be, responsible for stopping everything. She doesn't have to be quite as
Mm,
afraid of everything. And so even though it was a vastly different take and a departure from the classicness of Alien and Aliens, it was a little bit of fun for me to see her so obviously enjoying kind of stretching herself in this way. And
okay.
that's part of the fun of this movie, I think.
So, um, what's your list here? Ash, you're listening to the synthetics. Ash,
Oh, I
David.
just thought it was interesting that there are like A, B, C, D, you know,
Mm,
alphabetical names. So it just sort of was like a running list of like, okay, keep this in my brain for, watch for people with E and F names because I'm gonna be
yeah.
suspicious of synthetic.
What's the name of the guy in Alien Romulus?
Andy,
Andy.
I
Mm,
think, right?
So yes, is correct. Yes. So Andy.
Oh yeah,
So
that
that
does make a
would be a,
departure there. Interesting. Maybe
that'd
they're
be
starting over.
a double.
Ooh, now I have to pay attention to two patterns.
That would be a double. So if we're going chronologically, it's AA,
Yep.
AAB. Hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we wouldn't be going chronologically. We would just be going with the release. because then it'd be
Right.
A, B, C, A.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. I keep hearing rumors about them continuing the Alien story and bringing back Fassbender's character, like
I
addressing that.
would I would not be mad about that
I would
if
not be
they could
either.
if they could
Like a
write
perfect
something good,
at the end of Romulus, it seems like it's be good to go. The planet they're off to. Let's
right?
see Dave. Hmm. But I don't know if there's any credibility to these things or not. How do you rank these synthetics, these androids?
Ooh.
Any favorites, least favorites?
I think Ash is my favorite.
Okay.
Could be, I mean, in part by the actor that plays him. But I mean, Ash is like the OG, like I never saw it coming and I still like even as I watch it, it's just so good. Like I know he is, but it's his he just sells that performance.
Hmm.
So I really Ash is a lot of fun. David is the most, I think, complex and divisive. He really like pulls me in and then, pushes me away. So he's a very engaging character. So I think probably him next. Then Bishop. Oh no, I have to get Andy in there. I was just looking at my ABCD list. Um,
Yeah.
Andy, I really like Andy a lot. Both versions. And then Bishop, because Bishop is very mild.
Hmm.
He doesn't like leave a big impression, but he's very
So
clutch in the
dedicated.
end.
Yeah.
Hmm?
So dedicated.
Yeah,
He's
but he's just
like,
so like there's not like big swings of
yeah.
emotions or like big swings in his storyline or anything. So it's just a little less interesting. And then Call is last. Her acting is just really rough.
Walter too. So Michael Fassbender's other version that they show is Walter.
Indeed, indeed.
And then Kirsch. So I mean, that's a whole another edition. It's for Alien Earth.
Yes, yes,
Hmm. Call, I agree. Call is the worst. I just not that interesting. Bishop, I also agree. Like we're looking at cool characters. He's, I mean, if I was gonna pick an android, maybe I'd have Bishop.
oh
He's the one.
yeah,
Like,
or
please be my.
Andy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if it's not
I
tampered
mean,
with, right? It's
right,
the
right. I
tough
mean,
thing.
tampered with. I mean, but in the beginning, and it's not his fault.
No, no.
It's not like David where he's like, I'm going to choose some of this. Um, you know, but yeah, Bishop is definitely like the guy you'd want on your side.
Yeah.
He's
I
less the company man.
I really like David. He's very fascinating to me. I love his sort of obsession with um Peter O'Toole's character from Lawrence of Arabia. And he's like watching that and dyeing his hair like that and all that sort of thing. Very interesting. There's a lot of philosophy involved in, you know, Ridley Scott's latest, and so he's involved in that.
Mhm.
I like it. The Andy, I also, just because the performance is so good, having to
Yes.
deal with both characters so radically different. I think that yeah, I don't know. Andy's really good. And then um Kirsch from Alien Earth, I really like as
Mhm.
well. The way that he's played is really cool.
Mhm.
There's some questionable motivation things that come up, and I'm hoping those things get explained more going ahead. But I like him a lot as well. And then, um, yeah, Ash slash Rook. Um, yeah, he's good. I'm excited they brought him back again in Romulus. And like you say,
Yeah.
watching the original the first time, not knowing anything about this is such a great surprise. So,
Mhm.
yep.
Yeah.
Alan brings up Thea/Tessa from Predator Badlands. I have not seen Predator Badlands yet.
Nope.
It is on my list. I've heard a number of good things about it, so I
Mm,
very much want to watch it. But
okay.
yeah, which it's totally, again, it's the movie that, yeah, they're whaling Utani
Oh,
corporations and stuff.
yeah. I remember this now. Okay.
Hmm. I mean, it didn't look good to me. Early buzz, whatever. But I've just had a couple people now say like it's really good. So
Yeah, I
I want
have
to watch
heard
it.
that as well. Oh God, what's the the Predator in the promo posters? The way he's stylized reminds me of that terrible Battlefield Earth. John Travolta's character, like the way that
Hmm.
they have them stylized, they look like each other. And I thought that immediately. It was like, oh no, no.
Hmm.
But
Uh,
I'm willing to get over it and try to watch it.
a high school friend of mine, Mark, he used to quote
Oh yeah.
Battlefield Earth all the time. It's so bad. It
I mean,
is
there's
rough.
fun in quoting a bad movie too, you know. Sometimes things are
Hmm.
just so bad that they're so memorable, and hilarious.
Something about leverage. Yeah, there's something about leverage, and there's a line about leverage he'd always use. Okay. Well, more. I would do a Predator rewatch as well.
Oof, so
And
good.
yeah, that's a whole nother. It's a whole nother thing. I mean, when it comes down to Predator or Alien, I choose Alien, but there is more of it.
Mm. Oh,
But
you mean
man,
like a
Predator
franchise?
One, yeah, franchise, yeah.
I mean, yeah, same. But yeah, if you ask me to choose between Alien and Predator, like OG movies, it's
Both movies were
hard.
early scarring, like
They
touchstones for you,
were.
right?
They were, yes. My dad introduced me to them when I was like 10 years old or like 8,
Hmm.
maybe even. No, 10, I think. But yeah, early stuff, man. He just like dove right in.
Original Predator. I mean, I need to watch it again, but also one of my favorites. So good.
So good. So good, yeah.
It's just see, it's a simple movie. It doesn't have to be complicated. I love Predator is basically man versus nature. I love that kind of story. When you have the monster is takes place of nature or whatever. It's this
Mhm.
unstoppable or unknowable thing or whatever. It can be a
Yeah.
supernatural thing or something. And I just love that. So I don't know. It's really well done. I probably have to pick Alien because I vibe so much with the aesthetic
Mhm.
and the world and the setting and
Yeah.
the whole thing. But
Yeah.
original Predator is
They're
really good.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like they're so good. They're so close. I think it would
Mhm.
also be Alien with just the edge out. But yeah. And I mean, talk about movies that do a lot with a little, you know. I
Mhm.
was just thinking, about the original Predator in my head, and it's like they really don't show a lot. They do a lot with like implied destruction and implied, glimpses and movements and shadows and things. Um, yeah, it's just so effective.
Mhm.
They really like save up the Predator screen time for one or
Yep.
two shots, and it's really what makes it
Mhm.
like ultimately so effective.
I've never seen Predator 2, sadly.
Okay.
I'd like to see it. And then I've seen Predators. What do you think of Predators?
Oh, I
Adrian
gotta remember.
Brody.
I gotta remember. Oh, right. Yeah, I
It's
haven't
like
seen that in a while.
criminals dropped on a planet, and
Yeah.
they're there to be hunted.
I mean, it was okay. Um, I'd have to watch that again. That's been a while.
Mhm. I remember liking it quite a lot, actually, being pretty
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah,
Yeah.
Adrian Brody, he got buff for that. You got Lawrence Fishburne in it. A couple other people. I think maybe Machete is in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I remember liking that quite a bit, actually. again, it's like just
Oh, Walton
people in the
Dawkins is in that.
wilderness.
That's funny.
Oh, I wouldn't
Forgot
have known him
that.
at the time. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's worth a
Danny
rewatch.
Trejo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Danny Trejo. Yeah, he's in it.
Hmm.
Mahershala Ali. I forgot that too. Yeah. I would go back and watch some Predator.
Yeah. Well, let's whenever you get to Alien Earth and you get through that, you let me know. We'll kind of talk about that. Can be our kind of cap up of Alien here because it should be
Yes,
discussed, especially before season 2, whenever that drops. And then we
of
can always look
course.
at going back through some Predator because it'll be a fun mix of never seen before, haven't watched in a long time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think that'd be fun because I haven't seen it in quite a while. And that was such like a first, movie experience, like early movie experiences where a lot of my dad's choices in Alien and Predator were very formative.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, that's been little Predator talk, a lot of Alien talk, a lot of other things talk, some rants and raving about
Yeah,
creatives and
we got
whatever.
a lot of darker voices going on in our watching
Like
habits,
what we've been watching. Yeah, I mean, you always do your dark light thing. I don't usually consider that
Yep.
much, but yeah, between Alien Resurrection, Backrooms, Hokum, Widow's Bay, yeah, that's all. Like you say,
Yeah, I
horror-ish
mean,
stuff.
Spider Noir, Wuthering Heights
Yep.
is definitely not, light watching.
Right.
I feel like the only
Yep.
yeah, I'm barely pushing back with my little ghosts
Hmm.
and Castle Impossible, like just a little fun.
Yep. Yep. I've got Bond, I guess, so that's fun. It's a
That's
lot of
true. I
fun.
mean,
Mhm.
first light, literally in the name.
Yep. Right. Okay. Well, that's been Popcast on the Rocks, episode 204. Thanks everybody for being here. Sorry for the late start, and again, and that it's been a while since we've had the show, but hopefully you've been enjoying other content. Like I say, we did a card opening stream of a
Mhm.
bunch of unopened classic GoldenEye trading cards. We still have
Yeah.
basically a half box left,
Yes.
so lots to look
Yeah.
through. Maybe we can manage that next week, or when you're no longer solo parenting or something, we'll get an extra
Indeed.
night in and do that. And then Ohio Anime, we should have that. That's what should be actually next week. Finish out
Mhm.
Hell's Paradise. I know Ashley's ready to
Yes.
watch that, and I think we
Me
only
too.
have 3 episodes left or something, and then we'll
Yeah,
have
3 or
to
4.
figure where we go next. We got Free Ren season 2 to talk about, and there's going to be new stuff coming up soon as well. So, kind of endless possibilities on the anime front. We'll just have to see where we all land. But for you to see where we land, you should subscribe in all the applicable places. Again, YouTube, Rumble, X, Twitch, all those places, and then we're on podcast directories. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Our friends, you should check them out. Killing the
Mhm.
Flower, they wrote our theme song. Track Mouse, well, he's not Track Mouse 34 anymore. It's just Mike Bryant Racing. Check him out. He's got stuff going on. And then Peter J. Gilbertson, his books, should check them out on Amazon. And then I'm going to get the shout out right for my friend that's doing the bourbon stuff here. It's
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs Bourbon Cabinet. Chiefs Bourbon Cabinet. And does like shorts on YouTube or Instagram. So either place. If you're looking for a recommendation of some bourbon, check a look. But that'll do it from us. Andrea, thanks for joining me as always and putting up with my ramblings. And
All right.
we're
Sounds